Hello, writers. Come write with me. My name is Michaela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Michaela. I'm very glad to have you join me on my channel, so don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can go on this journey with me. Today is story time, or the day of our chapter exchange. If you're writing with me and you wish to exchange chapters, then send your chapter with written permission to writewithmichaela@gmail.com. I will post the email address at the end of the video and in the description below. I'm looking forward to reading your chapters. All chapters or writing prompts read on the channel, whether they are mine or another writer's work, are copyright protected material, and no one may use any part in writing their own stories. This story is PG-13, so if you're under 13 years of age, you need parental guidance. The story is in its rough draft stage, just as the last stories and writing prompts we've heard. The title of this story is Elementals, and today we are reading chapter 15. If you would like to read along, then send to the email I stated earlier and request a PDF of the chapter. Make sure you're specific. Now let's start. Elementals, chapter 15. Sarge goes undercover. Sarge arrived at the station early, and he called Lieutenants Stellers, Devers, and Griffin to his office. He didn't really have authority to do missions in other counties, much less other worlds or realities, but his team was there, and the mission or ramifications of the mission could affect this county and this world. The three lieutenants sat in small wooden chairs in front of his desk. Stellers and Devers, you already know some of this, and we will catch Griffin up. We're going in to help Michaels and Goodine. Sarge waited for them to say something, but they didn't. We can't bring our guns, so lock them up in a safe place. The weapon of choice will be a wand. Sarge paused again. He was sure this statement would elicit a response. Do we know where to get a wand? Asked Stellers. Last I checked, that wasn't equipment we could check out. Sarge smiled. He just knew things were going to work. No, we will have to find them once we arrive. Griffin looked around. Okay. I know Goodine disappeared. And I know later cops were talking about a strange little man in her apartment who had her gun. But I need you to be on the up and up with me. We hadn't found the gun with our searches prior to finding the little man. Don't worry, stated Sarge. We will stop by Party City on our way to the warehouse, and we will procure the appropriate costumes. Stellers and Devers can fill you in as we go. The three secured their guns in their lockers and met at Sarge's car. Stellers and Devers told what they knew, and then Sarge added what he knew. Griffin didn't believe, and he told them so many times, but he picked out a costume. They arrived at the warehouse, and the security guard helped them arrange the talismans, since the security guard remembered how the wizard had arranged them before. Sarge hoped to bring the talismans with him, but the security guard promised to keep them safe, and Sarge even got the security guard to promise to set up the portal once a month as long as he worked for the company. Sarge even gave the security guard the keys to his patrol car, and the security guard would give them to whichever cops came to pick up his car. Sarge wasn't worried about a return ride to the police station, but of course their clothes and their badges were all in the trunk. Sarge knew the portal was working because he could feel a buzzing in the air. He looked at Griffin before they entered the portal and said, "This is no gimmick or game. You can back out." "I'm in," replied Griffin. "I mean, how often do you get to go into a woman's dreams?" Everyone chuckled. They entered the portal. Sarge looked around in the dark. He couldn't see anything. He found his flashlight and clicked it on. "Well, I wasn't able to bring a talisman. Were any of you successful?" They shook their heads. Griffin clicked on his flashlight and shone it around. "Okay, we're not in Kansas anymore. Which way should we head? I think we stay here until the morning, stated Sarge. Then we mark this area somehow so we can distinguish it later. They agreed. Just before they parted with an elemental, Skysy and Starlin both paused. They turned and looked across the chamber at each other and then at the wizard and his wife. I felt something, stated Trakant. I felt something. Was that the same something that the High Lord asked us about? Excuse me. Could be, stated Skysy. When I entered the world, many people probably felt the portal open. But if the gnomes open a portal, you shouldn't feel things, put in Starlin. I don't think it is the opening of a portal that you feel, put in Wizard Balstar. I think it is when someone enters our world. Or leaves, added Wizard Balstar's wife, Witch Grimmel. So, did someone just leave or come in? Asked Trakant. His buddies looked at him. I'm not sure we have time to read the prophecies now, stated Wizard Balstar, but I will bring a book with me, and you, he motioned to Trakant, you can think the answer to the other two if I read anything. They agreed, and the three groups headed down the different tunnels. After they went through the first doorway of sorts, the witches and wizard could seal off the tunnels. That would make it harder to find the tunnels if the soldiers found the chambers. There was still a lot of information in the chambers, but that was the best they could do. Alex slept, sitting up on a cot of sorts. She leaned her head against the wall. This morning the soldiers came to the cells and made a lot of noise, which startled her awake. The soldiers came straight to her cell and barged in. They grabbed her up and tied ropes around her hands and pulled her out of the cell. Once outside, they also tied her feet together. The streets looked empty for the most part, and any people Alex saw were dashing into shops or buildings. Alex didn't know what she should do. The soldier that wanted to drag her mounted his horse, and then he followed after the other soldiers on horses. This jerked Alex forward. Her body dragged on the ground. Some ground was cobblestones, and the cobbles scraped her. Some was dirt, and the dirt swirled up in her mouth and her throat and eyes. She couldn't breathe or see. Her body tumbled this way and rolled that way. Alex felt disoriented and dizzy. Just before the soldier dragged her in front of the special alley, the wand unwrapped itself from her wrist and slid down in her hand. Alex barely had any wits about her. She had closed her hand around the wand and said the words she heard whispered on the wind. A small spark of lightning jumped from the wand and struck the rope near the horse. The horse started bucking, and the lightning severed the rope. The bucking horse flung the soldier to the side, and Alex heard shouts that somebody should have checked the elemental for a wand. Soldiers were all stopping their horses and dismounting. They were running back to get Alex under control. Suddenly, a whirlwind of dust swirled up as Alex used the wand to undo the rope on her hands and feet. Alex stood up, but she was dizzy and couldn't see through the dust. Calvert ran through the dust and grabbed her arm and pulled her along. I hope you know how to open the tunnel in the alley, he said, or we will be trapped. Alex was dizzy and she felt sick, but she remembered the words and the buttons on the far side. She stumbled into the fountain area and moved toward the wall. Calvert turned and looked in the alley. He pulled his own wand out as he saw a dark shape running down the tunnel. Chancellor Balcoy skidded to a stop. Don't shoot me. Follow her, and I will temporarily block the alley. Calvert turned and ran towards Alex as the wall opened up. Calvert once again grabbed her arm and pulled her into the open tunnel. Soon Chancellor Balcoy was joining them. Close it, my queen. Alex raised up to close the entrance when vomit surged up her throat. Chancellor Balcoy grabbed her hand with the wand in it, and he pointed it at the opening. He said the words himself, and the tunnel closed. Calvert said, I didn't know that was possible. How did you do that? I think what I said was better. What did you do? How did you do that would be better. I am Chancellor Belcroy of the Goodine Estate. I acknowledged Alexandra as queen, so I may say words or spells for her under her permission, which I assumed I had. Alex wiped her mouth with her hand and then her hand on her dress. Yes, you had my permission. Alex bent down and put her hands on her knees to rest and recover a bit. And who might you be, young man? Asked Chancellor Belcroy. Alex smiled a little and raised back up. Ah, this is my flying horse that got me away from Emery and his men. Calvert turned red, and Alex went back down to rest her hands on her knees. Come, my queen, we don't want to be too close to the entrance, stated Chancellor Belcroy. I brought your things here through the theater, but I sealed that entrance. Alex straightened up and slowly walked down the tunnel. She still felt nauseous and dizzy, but she remembered chairs and thought sitting would be nice. As they walked, Alex heard Chancellor Belcroy discuss things with Calvert. Calvert told him that he was under Wizard Tom Knowles, and yes, he could think with the wizard, but maybe not within the tunnel. Chancellor Belcroy thanked Calvert for ushering Queen Alexandria to the fountain, and he said that he was trying to think with the queen and tell her the plan he had, but she seemingly refused his thoughts. But something must have made it through, because she severed the rope at about the right place. Alex made it to the chamber, and Calvert found water and rags and started cleaning her wounds. After a little while, Chancellor Belcroy asked Alex if she felt well enough to travel to the shield to start it. He explained that there were 5 shields, but with her arrest and escape, they couldn't wait for everyone to be in place. The High Lord would be sending substantial troops here. Alex knew the plan that her Aunt Stilner told her about, and she knew that Michaels was back in Sumner, but she didn't feel well enough to divulge that. They gathered some supplies, and Alex changed clothes from the fancy dress, and they headed down the tunnels. She would try to think with Michaels once she felt a little less nauseous and a little less dizzy. Sarge eased to sit up, and the 3 lieutenants also sat up. Lieutenant Griffin turned and looked at the ground, and then he picked up a stick and held it up. Would this be a wand? Sarge shrugged. I'm not sure what makes a wand. Try it. Griffin looked at Sarge and said, How? Sarge pushed his eyebrows together. Well, Alex pointed it at me and said the words from Harry Potter movie to lift me out of an area surrounded by poisonous water. But don't point at me. Griffin pointed at a larger stick and said, Abracadabra. Nothing happened. Devers got up and picked up the larger stick. Didn't you say something about brooms? Maybe we don't need wands to fly on brooms. Sarge motioned. Try it. Devers mounted the stick. Okay, no laughing. I already feel ridiculous. Sarge shook his head. No laughing. Devers jumped with the stick, and he said various words from different movies, but nothing seemed to work. Devers was about to get off the stick when an owl landed on the end in front of him. The owl swiveled his head to look at all 4 men. I think you are here to help the elementals. I will give you the words. I can't stay with you, but you should go to the gnome village for the original wands, and then bring those to the elementals. The 3 lieutenants didn't know what to say. Sarge stood up. First, we need to mark the area so we can find this place again. He pulled some yellow police tape out and tied it to a tree. Then he walked around several trees and marked off the area. I'm not sure that is a good idea, said the owl. Sarge explained how they planned to return to their world. The owl sighed and made the men get out of the area. Then he changed the police tape to look like a net and had it drop to the ground. Sarge was sure they would never find the area again, but he didn't protest. The owl gave them the words to make the sticks fly and told them the directions to the gnome village. Then the owl flew back up to the tree to wait for night. Since Devers already had a stick, he said the words, and the stick rose up off the ground. But Devers didn't expect it, and he was off balance, so he fell to the side. The other 2 lieutenants laughed. Sarge motioned to them. Let's see you do better. They quieted down and found sticks. Soon they were flying in the direction of the gnome's village, and not long after, Stellars flew too close to a tree and scraped his left arm. Griffin had turned to look, and then he flew into a tree. Sarge stopped his stick. I think we don't respect this technology enough. They agreed and mounted their sticks once more and flew on. Skysy was with Dowsner, and they came to where the tunnel split. One was slightly to the left and seemed to go up. The other went slightly to the right and down. Skysy stopped walking. Dowsner looked at her. I thought you knew these tunnels well? Yes, I know the left is a dead end, but your book should be there. The right tunnel will bring us past the High Lord's fortress, but it is full of traps. Skysy looked at Dowsner. The traps are against intruders, but you need your books to deactivate them, or some of them. I should be able to do others. But, started Dowsner. Well, how will the tunnel know we're intruders? The tunnels were set up because of the evil growing in the land, and it will test everyone, stated Skysy. Are the books worth going for? Asked Dowsner. Well, if you had your original wand, then you would probably have a lot more knowledge and spells embedded within the wand. But you don't. Skysy held up a finger. Hang on. I'm getting a message. In Stelnor, this is Alex. The High Lord soldiers arrested me last night and dragged me behind a horse this morning. Chancellor Balcroy wants us to go straight to the shield. You thought about this, so I'm trying to coordinate. Skysy calmed herself. If Alex was thinking with her, then she was probably okay. So she thought a few minutes with Alex. Then she turned to Dowsner. I think time is closing on us. We can't take the time to get your books. Dowsner just shrugged his shoulders, and they headed down the right tunnel. Trakant was leading the way down the tunnel. He held the torch that the wizard magically lit, and things seemed peaceful. So he relaxed and forgot about his purpose or mission. He forgot about his time in prison. Then the ceiling came crashing down in front of him, and the floor fell away. Lava spewed up. Trakant's eyes widened as he quickly backed up. What the hell? He spun to the wizard and his wife. Did I step on a trigger or something? The wizard shook his head. No. You are the elemental of fire. You must prove yourself. The traps protect the shield mechanisms, and they will get harder as we go. Trakant raised his eyebrows and turned to look at the vast chasm with lava spitting up. He turned back to the wizard and his wife. Harder than this? We can't go forward. First test if it is an illusion, stated the wizard calmly. Trakant wasn't sure how to accomplish that, but in the woods he had gotten a small twig in his shoe, and then he put it in a pouch. The twig wasn't as significant as his wand, but he kept it, and he tried to make the wand look like the twig a few times. He hadn't been successful. He could only make his wand look and feel like a button. Trakant pulled out the twig and tossed it into the chasm, and just as he expected, he saw the twig become ashes before it even hit the actual lava. He turned back. Well, that proves the lava is real. The wizard shook his head. No, not quite. If it is real, then pull the ashes of the twig out. The wizard got out his own wand and made a few motions and said a few words. Trakant copied him and then turned toward the lava-spewing chasm, said the spell. Much to his surprise, the twig flew out, and the twig was intact. Trakant took the twig in his hands, while still holding his wand, and he looked it over. He had studied it prior, so he could make his wand look exactly like it, and he knew it was the same twig. He looked across the chasm. He still didn't know how to prove it was an illusion, or to shut off the illusion. Then he remembered Indiana Jones. The actor in that movie just started walking across the chasm, but there was an actual bridge there. Trakant didn't know if he were that brave or not. He also remembered the actor tossing sand on the bridge after he had taken a few steps. Track Ant looked around for some dirt or sand, and he saw some loose gravel. He went to scoop up the gravel, but then he looked at the wizard and realized that the wizard knew it was an illusion, even though he felt the heat from the lava. Do I just walk across to show that I know it's an illusion, or do I need to disarm it? Asked Track Ant. The wizard shrugged. I have not read anything. Track Ant sighed, but then he got an idea. The spell he just said gave him back his twig. So maybe he could say the spell and pull back the ceiling of the tunnel. He tried, and it worked. Track Ant started down the tunnel once again, but when he got in the middle of where the chasm had been, pieces of ceiling started falling again. Track Ant started running to make it to the other side, and he dove to the ground where he thought the other edge had been. Track Ant sat up and looked behind him. The wizard and his wife were strolling along as if nothing were wrong or out of the ordinary. Track Ant looked up to the ceiling, and things looked normal. Track Ant sighed. He needed to learn what was against him in the tunnels, and he realized that the defenses in the tunnels were to protect against his enemy, and his enemy might have different tactics. Sylvain was walking and whistling. He missed his buddies and felt that Starlim missed her sister, but he didn't ask. Sylvain stopped stock still when he saw a dark shape swoosh across the tunnel in front of him. He looked over his shoulder and pointed down the tunnel. Did you see that? Yes, replied Starlim. Not very well, mind you. It was moving fairly fast. I think that is Lord Volvain Melsolone. He is known to traverse these tunnels, at least in legend and myth. Before he died, he swore not to rest until the elementals restored things, including their kingdoms and their crowns. Sylvain studied Starlim. So, he's like my father or something? Great-grandfather, I think. So, this has been going on quite a while, asked Sylvain. Yes, before my time, replied Starlim. By my time, the royals and elementals were in hiding, and most of the High Lord executed. They knew the High Lord was closing in on them. That's why they hid their heirs or offspring in the world where you grew up. Sylvain motioned to the tunnel before them. So, we don't have to worry about that ghost. If he recognizes your blood or your relationship, no. And quite possibly he could help you with many of the traps. But not all, replied Starlim. Do you know anything about the traps? Asked Sylvain as he continued down the tunnel. Nothing is written, replied Starlim. Of course, Lord Volvain Melsolone traversed these tunnels before the traps were in place. Sylvain nodded. He walked in silence for a while, but then he asked Starlim how he could have the same last name in his world. Starlim explained that many in the royal and elemental families fled long before they placed the babies. Those that fled hoped to find a place to live in peace and were reluctant to take the babies that were direct descendants of the highest elementals. She explained that most families still had a bit of magic, but they knew well how to hide it as they lived in the alternate reality. Sylvain had a hard time believing some of it. His mother was a single mother, and he didn't know his father. But then as he reflected on a few things, he realized that his mother was extra lucky some of the time. And wondered if she had used magic to help her out of the dire situations. Okay, writers, that is the end of chapter 15. Leave a comment on if you were Griffin, would you have believed Sarge or would you have thought it was a wild goose chase? Leave a comment on if you would have straddled a stick and started jumping up and down to try to fly. Leave a comment on if you were Calvort, would you have run to Alex and pulled her to the fountain area? And Calvort doesn't have the magic to open the tunnel. It's a dead end if you can't open the tunnel. Would you have done that? Join me Tuesday for some jargon and a story with a setting. Join me Wednesday for a book club discussion of 1984. Join me Friday for Chapter 16 of Elementals. Visit my website, bymichaela.com, and read some character bios. If you read some, then leave a comment on which ones you have read. All your comments will help us, all of us, start conversations and build our community. Keep all comments respectful and remember that someone else's perspective can help you with your writing. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and the bell so we can continue to write together and other people will have a higher chance of finding this video and this channel, since your likes will push the video out to a greater audience. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, then please share it with them. This is Michaela with Write with Michaela. Bye for now.